Do all millionaires think the same? Today we find out. A millionaire. I can answer. Finally. We're doing a Jubilee Spectrum. Spectrum, yes. Which means I get to play along and you can silently judge me. How about that?
Self-made has to be somebody that was growing up broke.
I disagree with that. You can mow lawns for a few months and make like a few $1,000s.
You know how many lawns I'm gonna have to mow?
It's a lot of lawns.
Ones? Did you say ones? A lot of lawns? A lot of lawns! That's right, poor people. You're not mowing enough lawns. I keep telling you guys. You gotta get lawn mowing. What are you doing? Cringe?
He's a multi-millionaire. Please welcome Tim Sykes.
The key to my success is just working hard, like 18 to 20-hour days every day of my life, and having no life, but having a lot of money.
Alright, I don't care who they are, I'm sorry. They're all 6 millionaires with different values and beliefs. I am self-made. Hold up. Strongly agree, somewhat agree. Okay, I would put myself... agree. Okay, so 72% agree.
Growing up, I didn't have anyone in my family that was in real estate. I didn't have anyone in my family that, you know, had millions of dollars. And so for me, I do remember
properties
being
or something?
like 15, 16 years, having $20 and working part-time after school and like saving away all that money. And then I used that money to get my real estate license. I barely graduated high school. I never went to college, 2 divorced parents, so I should not have become wealthy.
That's right. If your parents divorced, you got no chance. I know he's just listing a couple things. I get it, but still, that sounded kind of dumb. Sure, you can list things that would make it easier for you. I don't know.
Statistically, but I believe that I put in the...
No one statistically is going to make it. Statistically, most people don't.
I literally started from the bottom. I'm not saying that I was ever homeless or anything, but I did grow up in a single family household.
Everyone's odds are stacked against you. Shut up.
Administration, my counselor told me I would never make it in business.
I feel so self-pitying to go like, I should not have been successful, guys. Everything was against me. I just had to. Am I being crude? Maybe a little bit. I just generally think people becoming rich is such a fluke. That doesn't mean they didn't work for it, but it's so much luck involved in it. So to act like somewhat self-important or about it just, I don't know, I feel weird about it.
Somebody that was growing up broke, in my opinion, like you got it from the bottom, and I didn't get it from the bottom.
I disagree with that. I don't think...
No, I agree with her, actually. I totally agree with her.
You need to come from straight from the bottom. Like I started with a few $1,000s. I know a lot of people who started...
I got a small loan of $1 million. It was very tough for me. What do you mean 1,000? That's a ton. Like if you have nothing, $1,000, that's a huge advantage. Are you kidding me?
Their whole businesses with a few $1,000s.
A few thousand is more than what I had, so in
yes.
my mind,
like a few thousand isn't going to make or break
yes, it matters.
your business, like your life. Like you can't...
$0?
Let's say you start with $1,000. I still believe you're self-made. Even 10,000, even 20,000, because you're not truly like even 6 figures or 7 figures.
I'm broke and I live at mom's house with $0. You're in a way better position
you can mow lawns.
Yes, you are. Oh my God, does he not see it? You can mow lawns. Here it comes.
For a few months and make like a few $1,000s. Like there's ways.
You know how many lawns I'm gonna have to mow?
It's a lot of lawns, but that is self-made.
The point was how much do you feel like you're self-made? And if you start off with money given to you, that's obviously an advantage. I would have been better off if I had money in the beginning. That would help tremendously.
I know what it feels like.
Oh! All right, let's see where I would put myself. I would put somewhat agree. Maybe this will piss people off. I don't know. I just remember being... the reason somewhat is just for a short time. It was a short time. I was very, very poor. And I was too proud to ask my parents for money. And I could barely afford buying food. I'm sure most people gone through this at some point in their life where you can't really afford food. You just buy... I remember just buying pasta and just living that off for a month. And I would eat it plain with some spices. And that was it. Because that was all I could afford. But... it wasn't a long time period in my life. It's not like I grew up being poor or whatever. Did they just high five not being poor? Let me see that again. Yeah, not being poor, gang. Look at these over there. Oh,
There's a
man.
difference between being poor and being broke. I've been broke before. Like, me and my husband have been broke many times in, like, our relationship. But we've never been poor. And even, like, a long time ago when I lived in a one-bedroom apartment with my family, we were never poor. I mean, I was happy. Like, I had pudding. We went to, like, parks and stuff. I never felt poor.
Damn, she had pudding. All I had was spaghetti. You don't understand my struggles.
Well, they got kicked out and moved into my grandparents' garage, and so I was poor mentally and I was broke financially, and I had to take care of myself at a very young age. So for a decade, I was running a pool company in order to eventually gain the opportunities to ultimately move that ball down the court, obviously. So,
But were you happy?
I mean, I wasn't.
What the hell? Why are you happy? He said he was poor financially or mentally as well. Like,
Not really, right? Because there was a lot of stuff going on, and like I'm living in a garage and I'm growing up, and I had to not only...
he didn't have pudding. I think that's the issue here. No pudding.
I had to bust my ass off to help my mom. So for me, I feel like we all start from somewhere and we go through certain motions because it builds character.
I like that. I'm jealous of you guys. I wish I had that mindset. Like, I traveled to third world countries to kind of...
This guy wish he could mow lawns. That's really it.
Like, I grew up really, really great, but then I hit 20 and I moved out with some boy, and the situation got very, very domestic violence-y. Now, I was living in a penthouse, and I'm sorry, I got too much pride. I wasn't gonna go back home. And you know, I'm like black and blue, like getting locked in like closets, like really, really toxic stuff. So that for me was very, very poor. Now, did it
I mean, that's obviously awful, but what does that have to do with being poor? I'm so confused.
shot me to six-figure a month income? Yes. But in that state of mind and in that environment, I felt like I was really poor. Like, I looked beat up, and my direct deposit was not gonna fix a black eye, you know, like.
I should pay more.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, God. No. No. No, I don't want it. I don't want to pay more taxes. God damn, I look so red. What is happening? I need to stop shooting so late at night. What the hell? I look insane, dude. There must be something going on here. Why is it so dark? There's no way. There must be something on my camera settings. Alright, guys, this is how it looks now. I'm sorry, guys. I'll get it fixed next video. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I thought I would be the only one. Boo!
I feel like, you know, you make more money, you obviously do have to pay somewhat more, but I don't feel like we deserve extra things to pay just because we have more money. Like, we shouldn't be looked to as like a fund, you know, from the government or someone else who just feels like, oh, you have more money, you should pay more in taxes.
I just feel like there should be a little bit more freedom with it, because it's really, really stressful, and I feel like a lot of businesses fail in the first 3 years because of taxes, not because they're bad at business, not because they're bad at managing money, but because they're not prepared to do everything by the book.
True. Taxes sometimes is so complex that it's almost as if it's better for me to make the decision not to pursue a big deal. Just because it's like, with taxes, this is not really worth it. The job that I have to put into this, based on taxes, legit, that's how complicated it is a lot of times. And I don't mind paying taxes, obviously. I just wish I knew where they were going.
Big companies who sell a lot of their services like in the US, and then they have some like Ireland tax status where they're getting out of it, like Apple and Amazon and these big companies that theoretically should pay billions in taxes, while it's us average people who are really supporting the government. I think there should be a little
average people. Yeah, they are average people millionaire. I see what he's trying to say though, because everyone likes to pick on millionaires and be like, more taxes, when in reality these huge companies are avoiding so much. But they are supplying jobs. They are supplying a service. I don't know.
Amazon paid $0 in taxes.
Did you see Bezos is donating?
Didn't Amazon say that because they cut on losses? They got a tax break or something like that. I don't know enough about these things. I just know people like to throw out lines without knowing the nuance. Just like I just did.
He donated $690,000.
Yeah.
And he makes an average of $200 million per day.
Yeah.
And he put out a whole press release, and I'm just like, come on, dude, like, give a little more.
Donation shaming! Donation shaming! You're not donating enough. I see your net worth online. You have to donate more. Me? Donate? No, I'm not gonna donate. You need to donate more.
To be fair, they have created a lot of jobs for people. I actually sell on Amazon, so through Amazon FBA, he's provided an opportunity for people like me to make a living for myself, to be able to start a business, you know, online, and to be able to make internet money. So like to have that freedom, and like whether we think that he needs to give more or not, I mean, that's really up to him what he does with his money.
I spent an absurd amount of money on something because I can.
I would put disagree. I think the most expensive thing I own is my car, and that's just like 60,000. Just 60,000. Listen to me. I guess I own properties. I just don't like having things. It makes me feel overwhelmed. I'm just like, no. Stop. No more. Thank you. I realize how spoiled I sound, but if you were in my shoes, you would understand. It's really tough. Getting free stuff all the time.
My husband just got a Lamborghini.
My husband.
It was like a 90 grand car, and he added like a 200 grand car. And I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, you don't need to do that. He's like, well, I mean, I could, so why not? Like,
I don't want to pay more taxes, but I don't have to buy more cars, but I just do. I don't want to pay more taxes.
I mean, I grew up wanting cars. Like, my whole bedroom was like plastered with cars on the wall. And then when I could actually buy it, it was like
it's so fun, right?
Well, it was fulfilling a childhood dream. It wasn't even about the car. It was the challenge. Then once I had all the cars, the thrill was gone. So I didn't need it.
Hey, look at that. He understands. He's learning. Money just buys you materialistic goods that just either satisfies a craving or a momentarily spark of joy that will fade. True happiness within. Oh!
So I think that you should all have like dreams and chase those dreams, whatever they are. Maybe they don't cost that much.
But I mean, not everything's materialistic. Like when I started making money, I changed my body. I went and upgraded
that's
my
what
chest.
everyone does.
I went and cleared my skin. I went and got a tattoo. I went and got my, you know what I mean? Like, go and get hair extensions. Like,
I've definitely purchased things in the past that were cool, and it was because I could. But as time's gone along for me, I've realized so many times that every time I hit the goal or the destination or the target, I realized that the journey was so much more fun. And as I've achieved more success and built more companies, it is almost every time now where I get there and I'm like, man, the journey was actually funner than the destination.
I'm kind of over here with you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because like...
Yeah, but the question was if you've spent an absurd amount of money. Just because you can. Not me.
I used to buy a lot of bags. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, and then once I got there, it was kind of like, I don't have a man, I don't have kids. What am I doing?
But the question wasn't like, what do you think about what's important?
Don't make me
now?
agree with
like,
you.
Have you done it in the past? You can't.
Mr. TED Talks.
If you do, are we doing that? Changing the future? Like, what do you think about material possessions now? Like, I'll change. I don't need them. But in the past, I've had them, so I've fulfilled my childhood dreams. Now I'm good.
Inequality is one of humanity's biggest problems.
This is too political. I can't do this. Skip.
My privilege has allowed me to become rich.
These are the same questions as before. Oh. Yes! Not in person. I don't know. I think a lot of times it just makes me sad for other people. The point I'm about to make is that people look at me and they're like, oh, he doesn't have any problems because he has money. So many people share the idea that if money solves all your problems, and I know I talk about this a lot, and every time everyone gets mad at me, but I just feel bad for people that have that mindset because I know for a fact it isn't true. Stop thinking money solves all your problems because it just doesn't. It doesn't. Sometimes I look back on the times when I was just starting off YouTube and I was just making enough to pay my rent each month. And that's the kind of time I look at almost back as the most happiest when me and Marcia were in Sweden. We didn't have a lot of money. It wasn't like easy, but we were equally happy then. The amount of fame and success that I got, it has been a huge package. And obviously, you know, money. I prefer to have it, obviously, but... Okay, we got some split. 93% agree.
We live in a world where social media is extremely prevalent. So like being on YouTube or Instagram or social media, a lot of it's like perceived. You know, you are constantly getting like quote unquote judged.
Right, but even on social media, it really just depends what you post. That's very much
I have a stupid
controlled environment.
watch just for social media. Like, I don't even, if you ask me what time it is, I check my iPhone. I don't even know if this thing works. But like, when you're trying to grow your business, especially for me, like in stock trading, why do you get into stock trading? Is it fun? No, it sucks, but you can make money. So for social media, you kind of have to show it.
But even with social media, I mean, if you have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, I think you're rich.
Yeah.
Because I know YouTube is writing you a check.
Oh, so you judge people.
You know, something's keeping your lights on. Now, I'm not judging in a bad way. Of course, you know, I work every day to try to make videos too. But in the same sense, like, we judge people that ask us for money.
Money can buy happiness.
Let's see the normie filter. All normies will say yes. Here's the thing. Obviously, money can buy happiness. It can buy you things that you like. It can buy you good health. You can buy a lot of things. Obviously. Obvious. I'm just saying true happiness comes from here. I strongly believe that.
It's kind of like that poor broke mentality.
It's like you trick yourself to think that you're happy. You trick yourself that you want these things. So that's why they say yes. I guarantee it.
All over again, like if you're rich and you're like in a domestic violence relationship.
And we all love the idea that, and it's even what I touched on before. Like, everyone loves the idea that only if, you know, only if I was rich, then all my problems. It's like a fantasy that people like to play with. It's like the lottery. You can buy that idea, literally. That's what that is. You buy the mindset of, oh, what would I do with this money? You know, oh, all these things. And you have statistics and actual studies showing that people that win the lottery end up more miserable because their whole life got changed. And in a lot of ways, my life got changed completely due to YouTube, and not, I would say, always positive.
Like, you're not happy even though you might have money, but still money can buy fun things. And looking back, like, you're proud of your accomplishments, you're proud of the journey that you took to get to where you are, and in a way it can buy happiness.
Money allows you to buy freedom, and then freedom gets you the ability to have more time to find what makes you happy. It's not a direct result.
But it could be, like, let's say your mom or your dad or somebody that had a severe illness, you know, was in the hospital and they had X amount of time to live. Now this person makes you extremely happy, and it's going to cost $1 million or $2 million for this surgery that they need to survive, and you save them. Like, you quite literally just bought happiness. Now, that's not to say that it buys happiness in every area of life. Like,
but it can.
But in certain areas, like, yeah, money definitely can buy happiness.
My most fulfilling asset is the house that I bought my parents.
Exactly.
And I am so grateful to be able to do that.
You were serving another person.
100%.
Exactly.
Happiness.
I'm curious what this guy is going to say.
And we all find that, I guess, reason at different points in our life. Some
blah,
people
blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You're boring.
It takes them
Seriously? I don't want to hear the same people talk. That's so annoying. What did she say? I didn't, not a single word registered.
And it really just depends on your definition of happiness. What makes you happy? And we all find that, I guess...
No. There's no your definition of happiness. That does not exist.
Reason at different points in our life. Some people figure it out really early on, and some people it takes them a lifetime to find out what makes them happy. So even though you could have a lot of money, if you don't know...
Guys, if you want to be rich, subscribe and become Floor Gang today. That's how it works instantly. I gotta say though, people that are rich, they love to sell their idea. Kind of what I touched on before. It's like the lottery. Sell this idea that you can become rich too, when in reality, a lot of it just comes down to pure luck. And it did for me, especially with timing. I think that's probably my most humbling thing, is that, you know, if I started YouTube now, would I have been as successful? No, I don't think so. Obviously, you still have to put in the hours, and I think a lot of people judge people that are successful too, and basically looking at them like, oh, if I put up the same amount of hours of work, I would do it too. That's not really the case either. But rich people love to sell this idea to people so they can feel like they have some sort of control over their life. Like, okay, you know, there's so many autobiographies of rich people, or online programs, you know, the Jake Paul program, you can be rich too, right? If I wake up every morning, and if I meditate, and if I do a jog, and if I have this same routine as these successful people have, then it will happen to you too as well. But it's just selling the idea that you're in control of your destiny, when unfortunately you're not. The thing is, if you're happy, then you don't need to be rich. And being rich will not make you happy. Something to think about. Gently hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Very low-key, very chill, very absolute garbage quality. I apologize. And I see you guys tomorrow. Hate 'em.
In a world where science knows no boundaries, Travel to a land where no tuber has been and explore never-before-seen landscapes. Encounter beings that are extinct. Meet Maya and Edgar's ancestors. Collect ancient items. Rediscover your favorite scientifically accurate dinos. What will you create?